Hollow Knight Silksong is one of the most anticipated indie games of this decade. However, its development is shrouded in mystery with very little news. Today we are going to look at the news we got since the start of the development to the present day, as well as some of the red herrings that managed to drain the hype from the community. Let me start with a brief summary of who are the guys behind the beloved indie game Hollow Knight. Team Cherry was formed around shared love for indie games and the want to make a game in the genre they liked. During development of Hollow Knight, the team consisted of Ari Gibson, William Pellen, and David Kazi, who would later leave the team and pursue other goals. Team Cherry got the idea for Hollow Knight during Game Jam Ludum Dare 29, with the theme Beneath the Surface. Team Cherry never submitted the project, but they did stick to their idea and began working on it. They used some of the design they had from their smaller project called The Hungry Knight. Later, the team started a Kickstarter campaign that would fund the game, although the development didn't go smoothly as their funding was not enough for the scale they had in mind. Their work process was built upon the strategy to make a game that could be packaged and released anytime, and trying to add content until they ran out of money. Hollow Knight would release on 28th of February 2017. At first, the game was not well known, but started rapidly rising in popularity due to how smooth the gameplay mechanics felt, the amazing world and sound design, as well as intriguing story and characters. It didn't take long for Hollow Knight to be recognized as a gem among indie Metroidvanias. During 2017, Team Cherry hired Matthew Griffin, also known as Leth, to help them out with marketing for Hollow Knight. And in August the same year, they hired Jack Wine, who is now working with the rest of the team. Team Cherry would later add several free DLCs, with the final one meant to be a second playable character of Hornet, who is an important part of the Hollow Knight story. February 14, 2019. The planned DLC was revealed to be a full sequel to Hollow Knight instead, and you can imagine the excitement in the community spiked to a maximum. This is where our timeline of development starts, although Team Cherry were working on the game for some time now. They kicked off the announcement with their first trailer that looked absolutely amazing, and followed up with the blog post. You could really see how far the team has progressed. The day after, a Steam page for the game was created. In this video, I will be mostly referring to an amazing interactive timeline done by the Reddit user gpronow25. I hope I didn't misspell that. You can find the link in the description as well as all the other sources. 9th of March 2019. Not even a month has passed and the team remains active with a late anniversary blog post, in which they celebrated Hollow Knight turning 2 years old, with the release of digital copy on the site Fangamer. As for Silksong, we have learned that they kept it in secrecy for almost 2 years, as well as reveal of several characters Hornet will be encountering on her journey. Lace, Chakra, Throbio, Sherma, Garmont, and Zaza. April 26, 2019. Nintendo claims that Silksong will be released within a year. This was one of the early signs of red herrings that the community got. This information was not confirmed by Team Cherry. As we progress down the timeline, I will be referencing smaller pieces of information just briefly, or leave them out completely. If you want the complete coverage, I recommend checking the interactive timeline for yourselves. June 11th, 2019. Playable demo of Silksong is announced on Nintendo Showcase on E3. 2 days later, we got an uploaded playthrough of the demo, in which first location known as Moss Grotto was shown, as well as few parts of a location called the Deep Docks. This demo concludes with a boss encounter against Lace. It's quite an unpolished version of Silksong at this point, but nonetheless the demo looked amazing and people were stoked to watch it or experience it. Sadly, the demo was never released to the public. June 25th, 2019. Yet another blog post by Team Cherry. This time I quote, "Team Cherry checking in for a long past due Silksong development update." So far, Team Cherry is mostly consistent with updating their fanbase. This time they are discussing the E3 demo, their focus on gameplay mechanics, and new area the Greymoor, which is according to them one of the largest area they have ever designed. It seems the team did not want to spoil much of the game mechanics, but they discussed how Hornet heals with her bind ability, and it is much quicker than focusing in Hollow Knight. On top of that, you will be able to heal 3 masks with 1 bind. We assume this change came with overall quicker combat pacing. Hornet will also be able to engage in conversation with NPCs instead of just listening like the Knight did. Dying in Silksong will also work differently. When Hornet dies, she will leave behind her a cocoon. Next time, when you break the cocoon, you will receive a full spool of silk. Breaking the cocoon can be used as a fighting strategy. For example, when you are out of silk, you will break it during a boss fight. Lastly, Team Cherry states that they don't have any concrete information on the game's release date. September 19th, 2019. This is a quick one, just a bug on a Steam page showing a release date of 12th of June 2020. This release date was obviously false. October 10th, 2019. Playable demo is announced for PAX Australia 2019. This convention is Australia's biggest gaming festival open to the public. This time, people were able to play the Silksong demo for themselves. October 28th, 2019. Steam page is getting a small update with new assets, that's about it. December 13th, 2019. In this blog post, Team Cherry states, I quote, "Right up front, we are still going, building this very large game. Our desire to keep building and building and building sure hasn't diminished, but our timelines have stretched a bit both to account for all the exciting new stuff and to tie up everything else." The team then continues to remind us of the first trailer, when they promised 150 new enemies. Well, now it's 165. And here are the latest 3. In my opinion, they could have at least shown us the full images. Next, Team Cherry would reveal a preview of an amazing soundtrack composed by Christopher Larkin, who worked with them on Hollow Knight. This preview contains the soundtrack of Lace and Bone Bottom Village. This is unfortunately the last blog post done by Team Cherry to this date. Why they have not released another is a mystery to us. This, however, doesn't mean we are done with the slivers of news on our timeline. April 2nd, 2020. The Reddit user BigBoy878 got a chance to create a character for the game. In previous weeks, they released a few hints and small amount of information about the character. This time, they revealed the character's name to be Seth. June 15th to July 5th, 2020. Leth would release 4 riddles to the community. At the end of each riddle, a small amount of information would be released. The riddles contained information about the Huntress, Grindel, the Caravan, and Seth, I mentioned previously. If you want to get more information on these characters, I recommend yet again checking the interactive timeline for this date. November 30th, 2020. Team Cherry replies to a Kickstarter about the lack of updates. The response contains, I quote, "Hey, thanks for checking in, and please do excuse the lack of proper updates, it wasn't planned. We've been just so focused on getting Silksong finished we haven't found a moment to blog." December 21st, 2020. Team Cherry were interviewed in the Edge magazine and we have learned quite a bit of things from it. One of the reasons Team Cherry decided to make a full game instead of the DLC is Hornet's height and moveset. We have learned more information about the lore of the game and the Weavers, which will play a big role in Silksong. The Weavers are mysterious spider creatures that appeared in Hollow Knight. They will be in some way connected to Hornet. Ari Gibson also hints at the scope of Silksong being bigger than that of the Hollow Knight, and having much more diversity in the world building. March 14th, 2022. This is a big jump from the last update. Makoto Koji, voice actress for Hornet, responded to a fan on Twitter. The fan was asking if she is still working with Team Cherry on her voice acting for Hornet. Her response was, and I quote, "Yep, I have finished up my part on Silksong." This gave fans hope that Silksong can't be that far from releasing. April 30th, 2022. Team Cherry puts out a statement on the occasion of winning Unity's most anticipated game award. Here's what they have to say. "We are honored that Hollow Knight Silksong won the 2021st Unity Award for the most anticipated game, and hugely appreciate all the fans who support us as we work on the game. Thank you so much. We are looking forward to the day we can share the game with you all. It can't be much longer, surely." June 12th to June 16, 2022. The community got something no one was expecting. A full trailer on Xbox Showcase, which was the part of Summer Game Fest week. In this trailer, we saw new, never previously shown footage. The following day, we got probably even more significant news. Xbox themselves confirmed that every shown game will release within the next fiscal year. Here you can see the exchange with the fan asking directly about Silksong. In the following days, we got few more seconds of a footage that was never shown. At this point, the hype around the game was at its peak. We were all looking forward to more news from Team Cherry. September 16th and September 17th, 2022. Silksong was confirmed to release on PlayStation 4 and 5, and new screenshots were available on the PlayStation website. October 29th, 2022. Names of screenshots on Xbox Wire website were data mined. May 10th, 2023. Leth, the lead marketing for Team Cherry, announced a sad but reassuring news. Silksong will not be releasing in the 12-month window provided by Xbox. This statement shattered every hope of Silksong news on the upcoming Summer Game Fest. In the tweet, Leth states, "Hey gang, just a quick update about Silksong. We had planned to release in the first half of 2023, but development is still continuing. We are excited by how the game is shaping up, and it's gotten quite big, so we want to take the time to make the game as good as we can. Expect more detail from us once we get closer to release." Some of the members of the community did not take it well, and were furious at Xbox for giving us false statement, as well as frustrated with the lack of updates from Team Cherry. While others understand that the process of developing a game might take unexpected turns, but everyone mostly agreed that Team Cherry should take as much time as they need but keep us updated. However, that wish was never granted. June 29th, 2023. A statue of Hornet and one familiar was released on the site Netroid, and we have learned that the name of the familiar is Cockfly. This wasn't that exciting news, but with the release of more merch, people were again speculating that the delay might not be that long. July 22nd, 2023. Fans were able to meet Ari Gibson and Matoko Koji on AVCon and ask few questions. Take it with a grain of salt, because nothing was confirmed. The fans asked about the scope of the game, to which Ari responded that it's hard to tell, due to how Hornet's moveset is much faster. Ari also stated that they are testing Silksong without further clarification of the state of the game, and that they are able to go through the game quickly while playing it. Again, without further context. Lastly, Ari said, I quote, "Man, we gotta get this game out soon." December 14th, 2023. The community extracted metadata from the reveal trailer. This was technically nothing new, but we might have been able to learn something from the names of the clips. March 18th, 2024. Fan bumps into Leth on the day of the devs convention and asks few questions about Silksong. This time Leth replied to his post on Reddit that it was nice chatting with him. We have learned the following from this encounter. Leth stated that Nintendo does not give them notice of upcoming directs. This could mean that potential news in the future would not appear on the Nintendo Directs. One of the core mechanics of Silksong, the crests that Hornet can infuse into her weapon, will be more about the change of overall playstyle rather than the strength of the weapon. Leth confirmed that Silksong will release before the game Crowsforn, which is yet another game Leth is doing marketing for. And lastly, Leth said that he liked doing the Silksong riddles that reveal small amounts of information, and that he would like to do them again in the future. April 2nd, 2024. Silksong store page on Xbox is live with the addition of ESRB ratings, which people took as confirmation that the game's release is imminent, because often games release shortly after they get their ratings. A year has passed since the delay, and we still haven't received any updates from Leth or Team Cherry. The Summer Game Fest and Xbox Showcase have come and gone without a word. Both Leth and Team Cherry remain silent, except for their activity on a Kickstarter, where they have logged in and backed up indie project called Pixsqueak. As of today, this is where our timeline ends. we cannot say for sure what is the current state of Silksong's development. Whether it's complete and Team Cherry is working on porting it to other platforms, or perhaps if something went wrong. The expectations and hype within the community are at their lowest, with many people giving up as the wait without any news is frustrating. While we have been assured that the game is coming and that it will be glorious, we have no clue about the release date. All that we can do now is speculate in the silence set by Team Cherry. If you have stayed until now, thank you. I'm sure there were some details I might have missed that others consider important. This video was my first experience with covering a topic and I gained a lot of experience while making it, but it's far from perfect. I'd love to hear your thoughts, corrections or additions in the comments below. Please consider supporting what I do and thank you again for watching. Tomorrow for sure.